Hello everyone, welcome to another show of the Leaders Show. And today I have this beautiful and amazing human being with me, Miss Arjumand Mohammed. And you know what? I just love her work. I have been following her since last 2 years, I think. And I've been, like we started at the same time. I just love her work. I just love to see the way she is growing, and if I have to talk about her, then the words would not be enough to tell about her. She is a Quranic guidance coach for Muslim women. She has this beautiful experience which includes teaching the word to word translation of Quran in English and Urdu from 2008. She has studied under the able guidance of her ustad in Chennai, India. In addition, she has also studied and taught at the Anjuman-e-Himayat-e-Islam Academy, Chennai, India from 2004 onwards. And she's on this amazing mission to empower Muslim women, in fact, the whole world, to lead their lives according to the principles of Quran and Sunnah. Like while speaking, I am getting the goosebumps. Like what kind of bigger vision and mission you have. So it's my honor to be your host today. Thank you for coming here and taking out your precious time.
You're more than welcome, Gargi, and thank you for giving me this opportunity, for being here on your show, and for allowing me to talk about my mission and my vision with you. So it's
Awesome.
a good honor and pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Around campfires.
So, like my first question to you is, every mission starts with a story. So, what inspired you to become a leader, take a stand, and help this tribe of Muslim women and teach them the principles that you are teaching right now?
So my story started, I think, before you were born, also, right? In 2001. I had just moved to a new place. I was newly married. I had moved to a new city. And I was traveling by train. And suddenly, the train comes to a grinding halt right in the middle of nowhere. Right? And we're all looking at each other. All the passengers are looking at each other, wondering what's happening and, why suddenly the train has literally stopped dead in its track. And then I look out the window. And I see a beautiful skyline out of which two buildings are standing tall. One of them is already burning down. It's on fire, right? And the other one, although still standing, I can see a plane approaching the second building. Can you imagine? I see the plane go into the building. The building is in smoke. People are silenced. They are dumbfounded. They don't know what's happening because of the mere atrocity of the sight. I still remember it as if, it's etched in my memory as though it just happened yesterday. This was 9/11, 2001. And that's when my journey actually started. People are panicking, people are shouting, screaming, crying, not knowing what's happening. We are not being let out of the train. We're stuck where we are. Children are crying, women are crying, people are shouting, banging at doors to open the door to let us out. We're all stuck, not knowing what's happening. After some time, we make our way back home. But that it doesn't end there, right? Now suddenly the scenario is changed, because everybody is now talking about, extremism, and, they're talking about extremists, and they're talking about jihadis, and they're talking about, they're maligning Muslims, saying that, oh no, Muslims are terrorists, all these kind of things. And I know deep in my heart that this is not what my religion is about, but I'm not able to defend myself. I literally had to hide my true identity because I didn't know how to defend myself. And at that point, that seemed like the, safe and smart thing to do, right? Um, Anyhow, I completed, and whenever I used to go, I was studying there. I had gone to study there. So whenever I used to pass by, go to my college after a few days when things settled down, I used to see this memorial, where people used to lay out flowers and garlands in memory of those who had passed away. And I always used to pass by them. And even I used to either light a candle or something for them. And, people would see me do that and they'd like, look at me weird, you know but I do it anyways. And after a couple of years, when I moved back to India, I said, no, I need to find out more about this. I need to know what my religion is. Only then and only then can I defend it, right? Because I didn't know what it was about. Yes, I used to do the ritualistic practices, but I never knew what it was about. And that's when I became a student and a teacher of the Quran. I started learning it, I started studying it, I started teaching it. I still consider myself till date to be a student first and then a teacher of the Quran. And while I taught, and by the grace of God, I've taught many women over the, thousands of women over the last 14, 15 years that I've been teaching it. But I realize a lot of us are not able to take its principles and imbibe it in our daily lives. And that's truly where we are faltering. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I've made it my mission, to empower Muslim women all over the world to lead their lives according to the principles of the Quran and Sunnah. Because if we can do that, we can turn around the way that people look at us. And I target women because if you can change a woman, if you can educate and change a woman, the family changes. Once the family changes, the society changes. Once the society changes, the community changes. And once the community changes, the world changes.
Super inspiring. Can just go on listening to your story. Like, the way you explained and put out into the words, it was like I am there and I am imagining that the whole situation is happening. So, thank you so much for taking that huge step and helping so many people out there with the things that you are doing. Thank you. My next question to you is like, God is very I feel that God resides in each one of us, whether we believe or not. And we worship temples, we go to mosques, we go to many places like this, religious places. But all we need to know is that the Creator lies in us only. So how can we enhance that connection with our Creator and form a divine connection with them?
Firstly, you need to believe. Okay, like you very rightly said, there is a Creator. We all believe in some form or the other, in some context or the other. So the very first step is to believe. And the second step is ideally to surrender, to realize that it's you may call it the divine, you may call it the universe. Something inside you always tells you that there is a higher power. Some say it is God, some say it is divine, some say it is universe. It doesn't matter the label that you give it, right? It's just about realizing that there is a higher power and not everything is under your control, right? Everything has its due place and due time, and it is planned by the best of planners. And we always realize, even in hindsight, if you look at any situation which you have gone through, but if you think back and if you look in hindsight, you realize that, oh, this actually worked out better than I thought. While I was in the situation, I was like, oh, why is this happening to me? And it doesn't make any sense. So I'm not able to figure this out. It's, why all this happening. But once you overcome it and you go to the next level and you look back in hindsight, you always realize, oh God, this was not my doing. There was a divine, there was a higher power in play, right? So it's to be able to recognize it, to surrender to that higher power, to believe that everything has a time and a place and a purpose, including our very own creation. We are created for a reason. We have been put in this world for a reason. So, what is that reason? In order to achieve that reason, we need to connect. And we need to connect by surrendering, by believing, and by acknowledging that there is a divine that controls everything and plans everything ultimately.
So always the first step has to start with the belief that yes, I believe in God. Yes, I believe that it will happen. It may take some time. The wait is going to be worth it, but I believe that it will happen. So great. Thank you so much for adding that, because a lot of us, we are in the hurry of achieving something, and when we are in the hurry, we can't actually focus on each and every aspect, and we are like, yeah, focus karu or should I focus there and everywhere, so it all turns out into mess. Awesome.
We get overwhelmed with it, saying, how will I
Yes.
manage this and this and this and this?
Yes.
Right?
Great. So always it has to start with belief, and then we can apply it in our life step by step. Okay, now my next question to you is like, how can a woman find work life balance in her life? So, a kind of harmony should be there.
About work life balance, I believe it's something subjective. Okay, it's not a one step formula that can be applied to everybody. I believe it's something subjective. It may be different for you, it may be different for me, because of the stage of life you are in, and because of the stage in life I am in. Our balance and our work life balance is different. For you, for example, for you it's balancing school and work, and I remember your parents told you that as long as it doesn't affect your studies, you can do whatever you want, right? Yeah. So for me, it's more about priorities, just like you. It's about priorities. My family, my children, my priorities are my priorities, and these priorities are dependent on your values, like your value system, right? Your highest value, you give most priority. So for me, it's always been my family and my children. They always come first. However, in the process, I don't want to lose my own identity either. So, other than being known as somebody's mother or somebody's wife or somebody's daughter, or, I'd also like to be known as me, right? Or, with my identity, whether you call me Arjumand, your sister in Islam, an identity of my own, which is just as important, because women in general, we are so tuned to, putting ourselves last. When we are born, it is always about our brothers, or it is always about our fathers, and then when we get married, it's always about our husband and in-laws, and then when we have children, it's all about our children. So we get lost somewhere in the process. So in an attempt to find myself, that's where I came up with this balance, and I said, no, I need to have an identity of my own, and it's just as important, because I need to fill my cup, right? Only if my cup is filled, I'll be able to be a better mother, better wife, better daughter, take care of my relationships as well. So in order to do that, I believe in work-life balance, but work-life balance is subjective to everybody. For me, it's about family. For me, it's about scheduling. For me, I have 2 teenage children. In fact, my daughter is your age. Right? So, just like scheduling, now they more or less study on their own. So I was teaching them till about 8th grade. Now they more or less study on their own. They do tuitions, but I still have their timetables with me. Tuition timetable, who's going where, which tuition, and etc. Because I believe I need to supervise them, to keep an eye on them. I cannot, just let them be. But at the same time, I schedule my work also accordingly. So while I'm on call with you right now, my son is studying, my daughter has gone for a tuition, I know they're going to be back. And then after I finish this session with you, we're going to have a recap of what we do. So that's work-life balance for me. Sometimes it includes working on weekends too. So sometimes that line is very fine of, okay, today is a work day or today is a holiday. Sometimes I'm working 24/7, 7 days a week. Sometimes there are no week, like we were in training this last weekend. So it was just, and then come Monday, I was back to work. So technically I didn't have a weekend off this weekend. So it's subjective to everybody. And if it makes you happy, then it's truly worth it. Just go for it.
If it makes you happy, just go for it. Love that line. And you truly said it right, that every work life balance, it depends from person to person. So what may be right for me, what may go right for me in my balance may not go to you, and vice versa. So awesome. Now my next question to you is, could you just throw light on some principles of Sunnah and Quran? Would love to learn.
In what aspect?
It's totally dependent on you. Whatever aspect would you like to give? It's an open question.
It's an open question. Okay, that's a good one. Let me tell you how I can apply it in your context. Okay. For example, now you were talking about studying. There are now, for example, you're talking about studying and how you use techniques and tips to study. All those kind of techniques are given to you. Have you ever wondered where those techniques came from?
No.
So those techniques are actually, whether it is, sometimes you have that technique of how to remember. You use acronyms to remember, right? So we have techniques also, like even in the Quran, how the Quran was revealed on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was a completely oral tradition. It was not written. It was written much later, but it was a complete oral tradition, and it used to be repeated again and again and again and again, and that's how we learn, right? So it used to be repeated again and again and again. He used to voice it out again and again and again. He used to then, once Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to apply it in his daily life, and then he used to tell others about it. So basically, he used to learn it repeatedly, then he used to apply it, and then he used to convey it. Now, can I ask you, what is the teaching triangle?
Golden triangle is being followed. Learn, apply, and teach.
You get it?
Yes.
Learn, apply, and teach. That's exactly what it is. So that's how a Quranic principle is taken and applied in your day. Okay. So that way, if a woman is, for example, if we are facing health issues, there is a solution to, if not directly from the Quran, but in the way our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, there is a way. We are taught ways, these days, all these health gurus are talking about, how to eat and how to sleep and how to sit and sip and drink water, right?
Yes.
It's all been told to us. And when the Quran was revealed 1400 years ago, and it's all been shown to us, more than 14, it's 1444 years ago. It's already been shown to us there. So it could be a health issue, it could be a mental well-being issue, it could be, a wealth issue. It could be if you're anxious, anxiety, if you're anxious, if you're depressed, if you're upset, if you're angry. So every emotion, how to deal with every emotion is given in the Quran. So any aspect of your life, I just give you an example of your aspect. Something else might be applicable to me and how I apply it in my daily life. Unfortunately, what we do is we just read it as a ritualistic practice and we leave it aside saying it's done. But no, it's something that we need to imbibe and practically implement in our daily lives. And that's what I help women do in terms of Quranic coaching, guidance through the Quran, so that I can tell them, look, these are the steps and this is how you need to resolve this issue, or this is how it was done and how can you apply it in your day. So I hope that was helpful.
Yes, it was helpful and I got to learn about how it all works. So thank you so much for sharing that. You made it very simple to understand. So now my next question is like it's one of my favorite. Since you have been a part of this Super Speaker Season 2 journey, like getting selected as top 10 among top 10 speakers out of 2 lakh registrations is really not easy. First of all, hats off to you and your efforts that you might have put day in and day out through all the challenges that you were given. So, like, my question is basically how was this journey for you, and what was that one major lesson that you learned throughout this experience?
Can I be honest with you?
Yes, yes.
I actually didn't take the journey seriously till I reached 250.
Okay.
The
Yes.
top 250. Okay, I'll be honest with you. We had the first video was about success, what success means to you. And I do remember seeing your video as well. I know you put in a video there as well. So I
Yes.
do remember seeing it, which was awesome. So yeah, I did that. And then I wasn't even, I just did it and I forgot about it, right? And I was traveling so this was in May, and I think August, the first 1,000 results came out, right? The top 1,000 results came out in August. And I was traveling. I had gone to my mom's house, and I didn't even remember it. I had forgotten about it. And suddenly we had gone out, and I didn't have 4G or whatever. I came back home, and I got the WhatsApp saying, I didn't even check my email. I got it on WhatsApp, and I got the message saying that I've been selected for the top 1,000. I'm like, for 2 seconds, I'm like staring at my phone, and then I started screaming. And my family is looking at me as if I'm crazy. Okay, including my kids and my mom and dad and everybody. They're looking at me as if I'm crazy. And I was like, suddenly, why is she looking at her phone and screaming? Yeah. So then I started jumping. Hey, I've been studying the top 1,000, top 1,000. What is she saying? Top 1,000, top 1,000. They complete because they didn't even know I had, put in my entry and all that. So I'm jumping. I got into the top 1,000. I got into the top 1,000. And they're like, hello, calm down. What are you saying? Can you explain this? What you're saying? So then I explained the whole thing to them, and that's when they realized. I said, "Oh, high five, awesome!" All those kind of things. And then the next few stage of challenges, I actually did it while I was there. Okay, so I've been traveling while I was doing it. So it's not like I was here in India. I was traveling. I was at my parents' house. I was doing it from there. So a couple of challenges I did from there. I got in touch with a few people to help me do it also. But then I decided, let me just be my original self. I didn't want to, I didn't want to have it, how should I say? See, for a super speaker, sometimes you get a loss of words, So, but I wanted it to be original and, with my flavor. I didn't want it to be very technical, where people say incorporate this and incorporate this and incorporate this, and there were a lot of people to guide us as well. But I decided to keep it original, and I said, okay, fine, let's just go ahead and do it. And then I came from the 1,000, I came into the top 250. Then I said, no, there has to be something to this now. Okay, now I have to take it seriously, because from 1,000, I recorded, there were a series of 5 challenges where we were in the world record, and then we had to talk about our mentor, and then we had to talk about our vision, all those kind of things. I made it to 250. And then once I got into 250, I said, no, now I have to take this seriously. That's when I actually started thinking about my message and what I need to convey and what I need to do. And to be honest with you, I wanted it to be as genuine and as real as I could be. I didn't want to, just for this, even though I knew the criterion, I just didn't want to do it, just to meet the criterion, so I knew I'd qualify. I wanted to be genuine. I wanted to be original. I wanted to portray, this is who I am and this is what I do. And if that gets me into the top 10, fair enough. If it doesn't, at least I know I've been true to myself and I portrayed what I do. And that's the idea which I went ahead with. So I just made my video. I got some help. I made my video. I got it edited and got it done professionally for the first time, because the other videos are all made by myself on iPad. I edited them myself, music, framing, everything. This one I got it professionally done, and I decided, let me just go all out. Till the last minute, I was like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? But last minute, I said, you know what, either give it all or nothing. Worst come to worst, you won't get it. It's fine, but at least you were true to yourself. At least you can face yourself and say, I was true to myself, and that's just me. And actually, that's what works.
Super awesome. So it was all your intention was not to qualify, but actually to be as genuine and real as possible you could be. Awesome. So this is the one lesson. This is one of my also top priorities of authenticity and being authentic person. And wherever I feel that, you know what, I'm not getting the real me out, then that's not my environment. So great, like you just showed a new lesson to all the people who are listening to this, because most of us are walking in this world by wearing some kind of mask, just to be good, or just to come in good books of everyone. But it's the first thing, that is authenticity, to be real, to just cut off that mask. So thank you for adding that point. Now
You have learned it at such a young age, because it took me a long time to come out with that. So I'm really happy, truly hats off to you that you realized it at such a young age, because it took me a long time to get here.
Great. So now my next question to you is, it said that greed is like having a gift and not giving it. The one major lesson that I got from TTT, Train the Trainer, last weekend. So what does this mean for you, or genuinely, like, why do you think is it important for every person to take a stand? Because each one of us has a story and a message that can really change the world, impact more and more people, and create a better place for future generations. So what kind of message can you give to them so they can expand their comfort zone and share that message?
The one message I can give to them is, taking off from what we just discussed in the last question, don't ever be afraid of being your authentic self. Each person is different, because each person is created different, even right down to our fingerprints. Each one of us is unique, and each one of us has our set of experiences. Each one of us has our set of talents. And if we are not able to utilize those talents to help others and to serve others using whatever talents we have been given, then that is absolute disservice. Like we learned, it's greed. I'd say it's disservice. I say you're being unjust to yourself, and you're being unjust to those around you. Let me give you an example. I was teaching, I've been teaching the Quran for the last 14, 15 years almost now. And after a certain, for all of the first couple of years, I was like, oh, I'm teaching, I'm doing God's work, and, all those kind of things. After a few years, I started feeling like, you know what, this is not enough. I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to do more. And that's when I started my brand. So I started my brand, if you can see. Yeah. Your Sister in Islam. I started it because I wanted to give more. I didn't know what I was going to do or where I was going to go with it. I just started it as a logo with a Facebook page. There was no Instagram at that. Well, Instagram was not as famous as it is now. So I just started with and all I used to do was put, quotations that I could resonate with, quotes that I could resonate with. So that's how it started, and just putting things I could resonate with, putting the things people could benefit, asking people to like my page, all those kind of things. I had no clue where I was going with it. Come COVID, that's when I realized that now I need to shift this. So this was around 2019 when I started this, and then 2020 was COVID. That's when I said, now this is my opportunity, because the world was going online. So earlier, where I was, even my classes, which were limited to Chennai in physical spaces, all went online. So they went to the world, right? So, and then I had students from all over the world. And that's when I realized the potential of this. And I said, I asked myself, how do I need to use, how can I use this to reach out to more people and to help them do this? And then I said, okay, what do I know? I know the Quran. I've been teaching it. I've been learning it. And I have taken these principles and tried and tested them on me first before anybody else. And then I started helping friends. And then I started helping family. And as I was seeing the effect of it, like, one day it just hit me that this is what I need to do. You know? And then when I did Super Speaker, that's when the story actually connected. The dots, I was able to join the dots in my Super Speaker journey. So I actually did, I just wanted to help people and be of service based on what the information and the knowledge that I had, that God had given me. But I didn't know why I was doing it. So the Super Speaker journey played an important role, because that helped me discover my why. And I was like, yeah, I was in that situation. And that's what drove me. Although it was to a subconscious level till a certain point, till I did the Super Speaker journey and realized that was the defining moment of my life. And this is why I do what I do today. So never be ashamed of your story. Never be afraid of your story. Never be shy of your message or whatever you're trying to do. It doesn't have to be big. It can be small. It can be something you resonate with. It can be something you're passionate about. It's something you want to help other people with, and that's just fine.
Very powerful message. I know that the people who are going to watch this, I can guarantee that they are not going to be the same person anymore, because while listening to you, when I am getting, a new perspective, so many new perspectives, then I know the audience is going to like blast. So thank you for adding all of those, minute details of every question that I'm asking you. And my last question to you is, since you are creating this beautiful tribe of Muslim women, so if someone is committed to join you on this journey, how can they, come and join your tribe?
The best thing would be to come into my webinar. And the best thing would be come into my webinar, because I provide a lot of value in that. I explain what I do and why I do it. Like you said, I tell my story. I explain where I'm coming from and why I do what I do, which is most important. And then I get them into my community, and then they can join me either as members of my community. They can join me in my coaching programs. They can join me, so basically this is more, Your Sister in Islam is basically a safe space that has been created for Muslim women to be able to share their learnings, to be able to, find solutions to their problems, to be able to help each other learn. I'm not 100% qualified or anything. Even I still today, I can learn from other women in my tribe and community as well. So we are basically here to help each other out. There are coaching programs, there are pre-recorded programs, all that we do together. And, it's a systemized way in which we do the entire process. And so the community is basically for to help women. And see, it's not, this entire thing has been created for a social impact. Right? It has to go out to the world, and I cannot do it alone. So I have to train other women also to be able to do it. I've helped myself, I've helped those around me. I need to help more people and make them capable enough of helping themselves and helping others. Only then I'll be able to have that impact. My impact is here. Right? So it's not only about, me helping people and that's it. I need to make them independent enough to help themselves and to be confident enough to help others as well. And that's how the social impact is going to be created. So the best way to join me would be to come into my webinar. I will be more than happy to share the link with you, and you can put it below the video, whatever it is. I'd be more than happy. And and the aim and the vision is to create uniformity, to create solidarity between women, and a space where they can feel free to open, to share, to help each other. Some help each other, some guide each other, some come with their problems, some come with their issues. So all kinds of safe space. We don't judge here. We have a set of rules, we have a code of honor where we don't judge each other. We don't we are here with the intention of improving ourselves and to connect with the creator. So we don't judge each other. We don't spread bad things or tell somebody's secrets to the other or nothing like that, because we're all here for that one purpose of improving ourselves and to enhance our relationship with the creator. So that's our code of honor.
Great. So all of you, the links will be there in the description below. I know that she can literally transform your life. So please check out her masterclass. Do follow her on Instagram. Everything will be given in the description below, because whatever she has shared is just like gold. And if we apply, so after you watch this video, it's not that okay, I've watched the video, I've watched the session, it was great, it was awesome. The learning can only make sense when you actually apply it in your own life and the results show up. So that is the only purpose of both of us sharing this all with you, so that you can start applying into your life and become a better version, and just become a cool best version of yourself. So, and thank you so much to you for giving me this golden opportunity to be with you. It was an honor to be your host, and you're not only host but a magical host of a magical guest. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here and to be able to talk to you. It was my honor, my pleasure. You're the one of the youngest people in the training session that we had during the weekend. And I would be more than happy to do help and be of service to you in any way that I can. So if there is anything else I can do for you, do let me know. Reach out. You can reach out to me anytime. I'd be more than happy to be there for you.
Of course. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.